I recently read that it takes 66 days to change a habit. That's the average. Anywhere between 2 months to 8 months. Change an old habit and replace it with a new one. The average is 66 days. Today is my 22nd day solid of eating low carb. Haven't varied at all. And there have been some, wonderful positive changes as a result of that. I feel a little less bloated. I'm a little bit more energetic. I'm like a third of the way there. Because like I said, yesterday was my 3rd week anniversary. So today's 22 days. So exactly 1/3 of 66 days. And I think that's going to be the real test, right? That's my first real litmus test is, do I make it to that point? Now, I know that that's kind of an artificial thing. Kind of like waiting till January 1st to change your life, right? But we humans, we like that narrative structure. We like this idea of ordering our lives into something that makes sense, like some sort of plot. And of course, life doesn't work that way. Life is not linear. We don't go from point A to point B to point C. We go from point A to point F to point J to point C to point, whatever. Life is more like a web than a straight line or a train track. But it does help us to make sense of our day, of our lives, if we put in some sort of ordered context. I guess it gives us goals, that drives us, that gives us meaning. Literally, you're reordering your mind. You're changing who you are, both on a physical level through the diet, and eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to exercise, but mentally and emotionally. And that's what really drives the physical, right? Right now, I've not had much difficulty with the discipline of eating. Right now, I'm getting a lot of help. And so we still have to take it down to the studs as to why it is that, we got in this particular boat to begin with. And I'm sticking to this idea that we use food as a substitute for other things, so we have to find yet another substitute, right? And I think the first way you do that is to treat yourself with honesty, which is, I think, a lot of times the hardest, because we can lie to ourselves so effectively. I think we lie to ourselves better than we lie to other people, because we want to be the hero in our story, and so we always assume, don't we, that we're doing the best we can with the best intentions or whatever. But the truth of the matter is that's self-defeating, and we should always have some sort of audit or some sort of check on our motives and our behaviors. It was easy for me to pull up to McDonald's. I keep picking on McDonald's, but they're really not the problem. I apologize. I apologize to the clown. But, it was easy for me to pull up McDonald's and grab something and just say, I deserve this. I worked hard. I'm just going, I'm so out of time that I need to, just grab this. And the thing is, I would grab more than I needed, right? Because the taste and, the texture and just the act of eating was providing fulfillment beyond the simple food. The fact is, I was quite alone. The fact is that part of it was just laziness. The fact is that, I was, working a lot and I needed time, but, one day of cooking when I was laying around in a coma from all the carbs I've eaten, I could use that time to pre-cook, batch cook some stuff. That would have been much better for me. But I didn't, because I was participating, I was authoring part of my own quote-unquote demise, and that sounds, far more literary perhaps than it deserves to be, but the fact is you have to kind of do that honesty audit with yourself as well. Why am I here? One of the things that raises my eyebrow, I'll just call it that. One of the things that raises my eyebrow is this concept of people who are overweight who say, well, yeah, I'm fat, but I'm fit. That's an oxymoron, really. I mean, that's like, that's What's that? I mean, how is that possible? I'm fat, but I'm fit. No, if you're overweight, then you have some problems, along some line. Physiologically, no one is that different from anyone else that they can weigh 300 pounds, be 5'6", 50 years old, and say, oh, but I'm fit. Yeah, you may be able to move around, you may be able to do exercise, but that weight is still taking a toll on you. You are still paying a price for it. And so that's a kind of special denial, right? Oh, well, I'm okay, I'm healthy. It's taking a toll on your joints, your endocrine system. It's damaging you in some way, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. This lack of honesty with ourselves, which is really enhanced, promulgated, if you will, by a culture that is so bent on selling you things that they tell you deserve this because they want to make money. That's the predication upon which so much of our way of life is constructed, is this idea of, well, you deserve this, you deserve that. This idea of gratification, of quick impulses that really are to the detriment of you. I mean, think about when you go to any store and you walk up to the cashier aisle. You have like gum, candy on one side, and you have a bunch of tchotchkes on the other, to encourage impulse buys. Well, that's why the candy and the soda are there, because they're counting on you making a quick impulse decision. If you really thought that out and you said, well, I probably don't need that king-size candy bar, the 2-serving candy bar of 600 calories that is going to disappear into your pie hole. Our whole culture is predicated on this convenience of getting these, quite unwholesome things into you, or to take your money on things you don't need. They waste your time and your resources so they can make a quick buck. And that's not to say, that is a somewhat unfair characterization, because they're not inherently evil in most instances. Yeah, like tobacco companies covered up that little fact that they cause cancer and emphysema with their lung rockets, but again, I have to say the responsibility is still in our hands, not theirs.